Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadari Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadari Sudanandana Rajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadari Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadari Yasodanandana Bhajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Bhajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Vijaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vistapad Paramahansa Prabhujakacharya Astatosana Shishimad. His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Gauda Vaishnavani ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopiyana Samakun, Radhakun, Giri Govardhan ki jai, Shri Vrindavanam ki jai, Shri Maya Purnavanam ki jai, Ganga Maya ki jai, Jamuna Maya ki jai, Tulsi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Gau Premanandi, all glories to some devotees, all glories to some devotees, all glories to some devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Now today's verse is 51, right? 50 and 51. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this morning reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 89, text number 50. Tamaḥ su-ghoraṁ guṇam kṛtaṁ mahad vidārayad bhūri-tareṇa rociṣā mano-javaṁ nirviviśe sudarśanaṁ guṇa-cyuto rāma-śaro yathā camūḥ tamaḥ su-ghoraṁ gahanaṁ kṛtaṁ mahad vidārayad bhūri-tareṇa rociṣā mano-javaṁ nirviviśe sudarśanaṁ guṇa-cyuto rāma-śaro yathā tamaḥ su-ghoraṁ gahanaṁ kṛtaṁ mahad vidārayad bhūri-tareṇa rociṣā mano-javaṁ nirviviśe sudarśanaṁ guṇa-cyuto rāma-śaro yathā camūḥ vidārayad bhūri-tareṇa rociṣā
mano-javaṁ nirviviśe sudarśanaṁ
mano-javaṁ nirviviśe sudarśanaṁ guṇa-cyuto rāma-śaro yathā camūḥ
tamaḥ su-ghoraṁ gahanaṁ kṛtaṁ mahad
tamaḥ su-ghoraṁ gahanaṁ kṛtaṁ mahad
vidārayad bhūri-tareṇa rociṣā
vidārayad bhūri-tareṇa rociṣā
mano-javaṁ nirviviśe sudarśanaṁ
mano-javaṁ nirviviśe sudarśanaṁ
guṇa-cyuto rāma-śaro yathā camūḥ
guṇa-cyuto rāma-śaro yathā camūḥ
su-ghoraṁ gahanaṁ kṛtaṁ mahad
vidārayad bhūri-tareṇa rociṣā Mataji's. Tamaḥ, the darkness. Su, very. Ghoraṁ, fearsome. Gahanaṁ, dense. Kṛtaṁ, a manifestation of the material creation. Mahad, immense. Vidārayad, cutting through. Bhūri-tareṇa, extremely extensive. Rociṣā, with its effulgence. Mana, of the mind. Javaṁ, having the speed. Nirviviśe, entered. Sudarśanaṁ, through Sudarśana disc. Guṇa, from his bowstring. Cyuto, shot. Rāma, of Lord Rāmachandra. Śara, an arrow. Yathā, as if. Camūḥ, at an enemy, at an army. Translation and purport. Oh, actually, there's no purport, so we'll just read the translation and go into the next verse. The Lord Sudarśana disc penetrated the darkness with its blazing effulgence, racing forward with the speed of the mind. It cut through the fearsome, dense oblivion, expanded from primeval matter, as an arrow shot from Lord Rāma's bow cuts through his enemy's army. Next verse, text 51. Vidārayad cakka nupathena taptama param param joitir anantaparam samas nivanam nambara samikstapaguna patad itaksho pididhek sini ubhe. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Following the Sudarśana disc, the chariot went beyond the darkness and reached the endless spiritual light of the all-pervasive Brahma-jyoti. As Arjuna beheld this glaring effulgence, his eyes hurt, and so he shut them. Purport. After breaking through each of the 8 concentric shells of the universe, the Sudarśana disc led the Lord Krishna's chariot into the limitless self-effulgent atmosphere of the spiritual sky. This journey by Lord Krishna and Arjuna to Vaikuntha is also narrated in Sri Harivaṅsa, where the Lord is quoted as telling his companion, Brahma te jo mayam divyam mahad yad dristavan asi aham sa bharata shrestha mat te jastat sanatanam. The divine expanse of Brahman effulgence you have seen is none other than myself, O best of the Bharatas. It is my own eternal effulgence. Prakriti samama bharata Vaktav yathā sanatani tam pravishya bhavantiha mukta yoga viduttama. It comprises my eternal spiritual energy, both manifest and unmanifest. The foremost yoga experts of this world enter within it and become liberated. Sasankyanam gati partha yoginam cha tapasvinam tatparang paramam brahma sarvam vibhajate jagat mamayva tad gahanaṁ tejo gyatum arhasi bharata. It is the supreme goal of the followers of Sankhya, O Partha, as well as that of the yogis and ascetics. It is the supreme absolute truth manifesting the varieties of the entire created cosmos. You should understand this Brahma-jyoti, O Bharata, to be my concentrated personal effulgence. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukhaṁ kṛtaṁ chalang pangun lang haite grim yat kripa taraham bande shigurum nirviviśe. Vanchakalpatubhyascha kripa sindubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare. So I'm begging for the blessings of the senior Vaishnavas here that I can say something which is beneficial and pleasing. Here it's mentioned that Krishna has taken Arjuna to the Brahma-jyoti. Prabhupada gives a couple of examples of the sun and a mountain. If someone is in a desert-like area and he sees something, looks like it might be a cloud, could be a mountain. I do a lot of traveling in Sankirtan, and I've had that experience where you can't tell, is it a mountain or is it a cloud? Until you get closer, then you actually see whether it's a cloud or a mountain. If it's a mountain, as you get closer, then you see it's definitely it's definitely a mountain. And then as you get closer, then you see the greenery, you see the trees, and you see the rivers, and then. So Prabhupada gives this example that there's the Brahma Jyoti, then there's the Paramatma, then there's Bhagavan. And then he gives the example also of the sun. So that there's the sun of there's the light of the sun, and then there's the planet, and then there's Vivishvan, which is also compared to the Brahma Jyoti, then Paramatma, and then Bhagavan. So Arjuna has him on this path, and this word here, the first word here, vidārayad, means path, or it also means door. That's where the door comes, su-ghoraṁ, door, very similar. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Rishabhdev, he also explains a path to pure devotional service or to the spiritual world. Mahad dvaram ahori muktes tamo dvaram yositam sangi sangam mahantaste samachita prasanta vimanyava surda sadhavoye. That by rendering service to devotees, mahad sevam, then the door to the spiritual world is open. Some of you may have heard of these two little books by Mahatma Prabhu. Japa Affirmations, I think it's called. And it's beautiful little encouraging words about japa. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, just like we have our 10 offenses, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he also came up with 10 defenses. And the first defense, the first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives to the propagation of the holy name. So the first defense is to serve the devotees who have dedicated their life to the propagation of the holy name. I don't remember all 10 of them, but that's a very important one. To serve the Vaishnavas. And therefore it's stated, mahad sevam dvaram ahori muktes. This is how we also get liberated. This is mukti, to engage in the service of the devotees. Because Krishna is very pleased when we serve the devotees. Actually, he's more pleased when we serve the devotees than when we serve him. Therefore it's stated that he who says that he's my devotee is not my devotee, but he who says that he is the devotee of my devotee, he's my devotee. So this service is very important. Actually, and this is why we chant the Hare Krishna mantra. We're praying for service to Krishna. We're praying for service to his devotees as well. Samad sevam dvaram ahori muktes tamo dvaram yositam sangi sangam. So this is what we have. We're in a junction here. We can either go either way. We can go the high road or the low road. By service to the devotees, we're opening the door to the spiritual world. But by service to non-devotees, to materialistic people, then we're opening the door to hell, actually, that's said here. So it's our choice. And some devotees come and they stay for a while and they serve the devotees, they serve Krishna, they decide to go the other way, to go the low road, sense gratification. So that's our choice. We have our free will. And the reason we're doing all this hearing and chanting is to keep this path back to Krishna open. Bhagavatam gives an example of there's two villages, and there's members of the same family in these different villages, but then they all move to one village, so there's no more path there. Eventually it gets covered over by grass. So by this hearing and chanting, we're keeping this pathway, it's a beaten path, a clear path to Krishna. But if we decrease in our hearing and chanting, then eventually that path can get covered. And it's not clearly there anymore. So it's so important that we hear and chant attentively. So Lord Rishabhdev, he goes on to say, what are these symptoms of a devotee, mahad that we should serve? Mahantaste samachita. Samachita means equal towards everyone. And therefore Krishna says, the saintly devotees of the Lord, they see with equal vision a brahmana, a cow, elephant, dog eater. Sees everyone as a soul. Not easy to see everyone as a spirit soul, because we're conditioned to thinking that we're this body and identify with other bodies, and so it's not easy. But this process is very powerful, so we can get that realization. When Prahlad Maharaj was being taught by his teachers, they were teaching about politics, friends and enemies. Yeah. And many religions on this planet. Also, there's sometimes religions, they fight amongst themselves. Yeah. Christians fighting Christians. Just like there's in Ireland, there's the Catholics and the Protestants. And they've been fighting for years. They're both Christians, they both believe in Jesus Christ, but they're fighting literally to the death. It's amazing. There's one devotee who was from Ireland, and one Catholic went up to him and said, "So are you a Catholic or Protestant?" He said, "I'm a Hare Krishna." He said, "That's all right, but are you a Protestant or a Catholic Hare Krishna?" Got to be one or the other. Got to be in the box, yeah. So it's unfortunate. There's so much fighting going on because of this lack of understanding that we're all spirit souls. So many religions are fighting, but God, Krishna, he's up there. Come on, kids, stop fighting. Yeah. You're all serving me, serving God, so get along. But not easy to understand that we're the soul within, that we're all souls. Ascharya pasthiti kashtena, ascharya varidataiva chanya, ascharya chanya anyashranoti, shudranya nivena. How's it go, Maharaj? So Krishna says some look on the soul as amazing. Some describe the soul as amazing. Some hear the soul as amazing. And some, even after hearing about it, can't understand the soul at all. Like I met one young man, book distribution, he was in California, and he was interested in the books. He got the books, and he was coming to the temple and taking prasadam and participating in the evening program, morning program. Very nice person. But then eventually he said, it's not working. I can't understand that we're the soul. So he stopped coming. It's not easy to understand that we're the soul, and therefore can see everyone equally. So mahantaste samachita prashanta. Prashanta means peaceful. A devotee is peaceful. Krishna bhakti nishkama ateva shanta. Bhukti mukti sthiti kami sakali ashanta. Devotees of the Lord, they're very peaceful. Why? Krishna Bhakti Nishkam, because they have no material desires. Prabhupada was speaking about this and he said, only the devotees are peaceful. Only the devotees are peaceful because they're engaged in the service of Krishna. They know that I'm the soul within. And therefore they peacefully serve Krishna, happily serve Krishna. But bhukti mukti, siddhikami, those who have material desires or desiring liberation or just filled with desires, they cannot be peaceful. So this process is about giving up material desires. We can't give up desire. That's the nature of the soul, is that we have to desire. Sometimes there's people, they do meditation and their goal of the meditation is to get free of desire. But that's not possible. The desire to get free of desire is also desire. So you can't get away from it. But we can learn to desire the Supreme Person from hearing about the Supreme Person. Then we understand the greatness of the Supreme Person, and we want to serve. We want to serve Krishna. And this brings peace. Throughout the world now, there's so much war. Now another war has began. Why? Why? Because there's so many borders. So many borders. We had this group called the United Nations. After World War II, they established this United Nations, so there's no more war. But then again, still, there's war. Prabhupada said if you have a pack of dogs, a large pack of dogs, and you're trying to have peace amongst a large pack of dogs, what hope is there? There's no hope. So as long as the people aren't devotees of Krishna, they'll be war. Guaranteed. In America they have this song, "This land is your land, this land is my land, and it's made for you and me." It's not our land. It belongs to Krishna. Everything that exists is owned and controlled by the Supreme Lord. And we should only take that which we need as our quota and not take more, knowing well to whom everything belongs. Everything belongs to Krishna. But people think, oh, this is my land, this is my home, this is my car, this is mine. Me and mine. No, everything belongs to Krishna. And we're meant to utilize things in the service of Krishna. But the other part, it's made for you and me. Yes, this world is made for you and me. This material world, it's a prison. And we are the prisoners. And the material body, these are our prison suits. And we're doing our time. We're doing our time. But we can get out on good behavior. You know, in prisons, if there's prisoners that are good prisoners in prison, they get out early. It's said they get out on good time because they are good prisoners, they get out early. So we had our karma. Now, fortunately, we've come in contact with Krishna. So we can get out early on good time and go back to Krishna. Yeah. So by this association and by this hearing and chanting, yeah, we can get purified. Vedyam pavitram omkaram Krishna is the goal of the Vedas, and he is that person who purifies. He's very pure, so pure. Anybody that comes in contact with Krishna gets purified. Prabhupada said someone just touches a book, just like book distributors were out distributing books, and sometimes they don't want to take it. So I just kind of, well, here, just touch it. No, can't touch it. Too much purification. I was talking to one boy. I offered the book to him. He said, no. I want to get married. I said, that's okay. You take a book and you still get married. He said, no, I know you guys are celibate monks. I don't want to take a chance. I said, no, it's okay. Most people get married. You'd be all right. He said, no, I don't want to take a chance. Wouldn't take the book. He understands the Shakti, the potency of these books. So, Mimanyava surda sadhavoye. A devotee is a friend to everyone, not just to people, but to animals. Just like Prabhupada, when he would go to Mayapur, he would stop at the mango grove every time when he would go into Mayapur. I guess they had a lot of mango. You ever seen that, Maharaj? The mango grove? I heard we were buying the property there. Someone said we're buying the property so people can go there, devotees can go there. So Prabhupada was there with the devotees, and they were honoring prasadam, and there were some dogs came by, and devotees were throwing rocks at them. And Prabhupada stopped. Prabhupada said, stop. And Prabhupada was throwing chapatis at them. So this is Prabhupada. He's merciful. A devotee is merciful. In the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, devotees would go from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri every year. And there was one devotee, Shivananda Sain, who was in charge of bringing these devotees, about 200. And they didn't have trains or planes, or they walked through the forest. Amazing. Anybody know how far it is from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri? At least a couple 100 miles. Huh? 400. Wow, okay, that's a lot of walking. Of course, in Bhakti Marg Swami, that's like, that's nothing. So he was in charge of bringing all these devotees down. And one time he was coming down, and a dog, just a regular street dog, joined the party. So he took that street dog, right, and the dog became part of the party. He just thought he was responsible for this dog, and he would feed it even. And there was he had to take care of some taxes or some business, and he told the devotees, make sure you feed him, and I'll be back in some time. He came back, and the dog was gone. So he asked the devotees, did you feed him? Nobody fed him. So Shivananda Sain got 10 men to go out looking for the dog. I mean, amazing compassion. And they couldn't find him. And Shivananda Sain, he kind of felt bad that he wasn't able to take care of this dog who had joined the party. So they got to Jagannath Puri. Devotees went, they got the darshan of Lord Chaitanya, and to everyone's amazement, the dog was there. And Lord Chaitanya was throwing coconut pulp, and the dog is catching it. Shivananda Sain came in, and he saw the dog getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. he paid dandavats, begging for forgiveness for any offenses he may have made to this dog. So devotees are amazed that how is this possible? And no one brought the dog there, he just came to Jagannath Puri, and he's there in the association of Lord Chaitanya. Like, how is this possible? So then the next day, he got word that the dog had gone back to Godhead, went back to the spiritual world. So how did that happen? How is that possible? By the association of a devotee. He got the association of devotees. So that was it. Yeah. Back home, back to Godhead. So we have so much association with the devotees. So we should be very careful and follow that one defense. Serve the Vaishnavas. Yeah. So a devotee is very, very friendly. Prabhupada also, there was one instance where he was in Canada, I believe it was in Canada, and there was one Indian man that was going with the devotees to some program, some outside program. So Prabhupada was speaking and he asked if there was any questions. And the Indian man stood up and said, "Why are you bringing your Hindu religion to this Christian country? Why are you doing this?" And the devotees were like so angry because he's challenging Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, "I have not come to bring Hinduism. We are not Hindus. We're servants of God." Yeah. So no, we're not trying to change anyone's beliefs. If someone is a good Christian, then very nice, be a good Christian, fine. Someone is a good Muslim, then be a good Muslim. Devotees were very upset though, this Indian man, because he had visited the temple, he was part of the party there. They were shocked. So some days later, Prabhupada was leaving the city there, and he told the devotees, "Tell the Indian man to come. I'd like to see him." I think it was Gopal Krishnamar said, "But Prabhupada, he was so offensive to you." He said, "No, I must have offended him in another life. Yeah, tell him to come. It's okay." So Prabhupada, very friendly, even though this person was so nasty. Prabhupada's very friendly. Just, it's my karma. Maybe we can make it up somehow. So a devotee is very friendly to all living entities. There's a devotee named Vasudeva. He was a leper. Lord Chaitanya went to the Kurma Brahmana's house, and Kurma Brahmana was so happy to have Lord Chaitanya in his home that when Lord Chaitanya was leaving, he said, "I want to go with you." He said, No. You stay here. You learn the teachings of Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and this way you become a spiritual master and you liberate everyone in the land. You stay, preach. Lord Chaitanya left. Sometime after that, short time after that, Vasudeva, this leper, he came because he got word. Lord Chaitanya is at the Kurma Brahmana's home. Then he got word that Lord Chaitanya had already left. So this devotee, just to give you an idea of how exalted this devotee was, Vasudeva, he had leprosy, so worms were on his body, eating. And sometimes they would fall off, his sores. He would pick it up and put it back on. His dinner is interrupted. Inconceivable. Friend to all living entities. He knew, I'm not this body. This worm is having some lunch or dinner, then let him continue. I'm not this body. Completely self-realized. Completely, 100%. Won't that be nice? To be completely 100% self-realized. I'm not this body. I have many years ago I had a motorhome, and on the mirror in the little bathroom, I put a sign, "This is not me." Just to help remember, remind me, I'm not this body. I am the soul. So this is how exalted this Vasudeva was. So when he heard from the Kurma Brahmana that Lord Chaitanya had left, he fainted. He fainted. It was just so painful. He just fainted. But Lord Chaitanya, he's omniscient. He knew that Vasudeva was there, and he had fainted at a separation. So Lord Chaitanya came back. And what did he do? He embraced him. He's a leper. He's got these, pus and blood, and Vasudeva's like, "No, Lord Chaitanya, please. I'm a leper. I have this disease. Please stay away." But Lord Chaitanya embraced him. And what happened? He became a beautiful Vaishnava. He already was a beautiful Vaishnava, but now he had a beautiful body. So he's a beautiful Vaishnava, and now he has a beautiful body as well. So then Vasudeva, he said, "My Lord, now I'm a little worried. I have this beautiful body. I may become proud." This is one of the things that people become proud of: your beauty, wealth, strength, fame. Lord Chaitanya said, "No, you just chant, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, and you will stay humble." So Vasudeva was very happy. This is Lord Chaitanya. This is God. He embraces a leper and he has a beautiful body. There's another devotee named Vasudeva Dutt, who was so dear to Lord Chaitanya. It's described that Lord Chaitanya, when he was glorifying Vasudeva Dutt, it was like he had 100 mouths. He's such a great Vaishnava. He is such a great Vaishnava that he told Lord Chaitanya, "Lord Chaitanya, please, I want that all the sins of everyone in the universe come upon me, so that everybody can go back to Godhead. And I will suffer in hell perpetually, receiving their sins." When Lord Chaitanya heard this, his body started shivering, and tears came from his eyes. And he said, "I could understand that you're speaking in this way because you are an incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj." Imagine the mentality, ready to take on all the sins of everyone and accept the reactions perpetually. Such incredible compassion in this Vaishnava. So therefore we could understand why Lord Chaitanya could glorify him on and on and on and on, because so pure, so compassionate. So these qualities that are being mentioned in this verse by Lord Rishabhdev, they're actually dormant within us. And as we advance in Krishna consciousness, these qualities automatically, they come out. We don't have to get them individually. How many qualities of the Vaishnava are there? 26. So we don't have to try to get them individually. They automatically come when we surrender to Krishna. So this is the goal. Thank you very much. Is there any question or a comment?
Hare Krishna, thank you. One afternoon, Prabhupada rang his bell This was in Los Angeles. He was in his sitting room in Los Angeles, which, you know, white tile floor, very shiny white tile floor. And I came in and offered obeisances in front of his desk and sat up. And he looked at me, he said, "Do you see that?" And I didn't see anything. You know, we think Prabhupada, he saw Narada Muni, he saw Lord Brahma, but I didn't see anything. And he said, "There, that bug." So there was a little black insect, it was right next to me. Prabhupada said, "I've been watching it for some time, and he hasn't moved." He said, "I think it's hungry." He said, go into his bedroom, next door his bedroom, there were little Jagannath deities about 8 inches high. He said, "You take the flower garland from Lord Jagannath," he said, "and put the bug on the flower garden and put it out in my garden." He said, "So he can eat."
Friend to all living entities,
Yes.
kind to all living
All
entities.
living entities. Yes.
There's another pastime of Prabhupada in Hawaii. Prabhupada was in Hawaii, and the servant said, "Prabhupada, look at this very unusual looking bug." In Hawaii, there's so many varieties of, because it's tropical. So he had never seen such a bug. So, "Prabhupada, look at this bug." So Prabhupada came over and he's looking at it also. "Yeah, very unusual looking bug." Now chant to the poor thing. You know, it's a spirit soul. So I wanted to mention one other thing. We still have some time. One of the qualities also of a Vaishnava is that he doesn't become angry. Doesn't become angry. He's very self-controlled. And there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, "Vita raga boya kota manmaya mamapashata bhavo jnana tapasa putamad bhavamagata." Being free from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me, many persons in the past have become purified by knowledge of me and have thus come to me. So this verse by Krishna it's an encouraging verse for us. Many persons in the past have become purified by knowledge of me. So this means we also can get purified by this process and go back to Krishna. Now, I'll tell you a nice story in this regard. In Miami, there was a doctor who was a very nice, devoted person. Him and his wife, they would come to the temple regularly and they would do service. And they were both very dear to the devotees. But at one point, his wife got cancer. So some of us devotees, we would regularly go there to their house and chant for her, try to encourage her. So we were doing this for some weeks. And one time we went, and it looked like she's going to leave her body that night. But we had services to do the next day, so we had to get back. And that night, sure enough, she left her body. And Dr. Choksi, he came up to me and said, "You won't believe what happened. Last night," she said to me, "Do you see him?" And he said, "Do I see who?" She said, "Krishna. He's standing right in front of me. And he's telling me to come. But you're my husband. Should I go?" He said, "Yeah, go. Go. Go." So she closed her eyes. A short time after that, she left her body. Back home. So this process is working. So many devotees now come in Vrindavan, leaving their body, Mayapur, going back home. So it's happening. Any other question or comment? Yes.
First of all, thank you for the lecture. Thank you for the lecture, for the beautiful class. You talked about all these profound teachings that everything belongs to Krishna and we are the soul and everything, and to do service to the Vaishnavas. But there's this tendency also, at least for myself, to criticize in the mind. We know in this age of Kali Yuga, this is not counting, it's an offense. But even if we are criticizing in the mind, at some point it becomes manifested, right? So how can we get rid of this tendency to criticize in the mind?
Very good question. You know, one of the symptoms of a pure devotee is that they've gone beyond the tendency to criticize others. So you're not alone. This is one of the symptoms of a pure devotee. He's beyond the tendency to criticize others. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, if devotees were having some friction, he would have them come together and they would have to come up with 5 positive things about that devotee, and they would say it to each other, and sometimes they would become friends from that. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said, if we find some fault in someone, we should find 10 in ourselves. So that'll keep you busy. And that also might give some inspiration to not find fault or to criticize others. Yeah, it's a terrible disease, this tendency to criticize others. But we should be very grateful that we have association with devotees. Because imagine if we don't have association with devotees. Terrible. So we should, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, we should beat the mind. It's just the rascal mind. So better to beat the mind and appreciate the devotees. Is that okay? Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.